In the vast tapestry of human history, few figures have left as deep a mark as Alexander the Great. Born in 356 BC in the small kingdom of Macedonia, he rose to command the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. In a single decade, he toppled mighty kingdoms, built legendary cities, and spread Greek culture from the Mediterranean to the edges of India. His name became a legend, his ambition, limitless. This is the story of the man who dreamed of uniting the world under one crown. And in many ways, succeeded. Alexander was born in the city of Pella, the capital of Macedonia. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant general and a master of politics. His mother, Olympias, filled his imagination with stories of divine ancestry, claiming he was descended from Zeus himself. From the beginning, Alexander was told he was destined for greatness. As a child, he showed unusual courage. The famous story tells us how he tamed the wild horse Bucephalus, a beast no one else could control. Where others saw danger, Alexander saw potential. It was the mark of a true leader.
At 13, Alexander was entrusted to one of history's greatest minds, Aristotle. The philosopher taught him science, medicine, philosophy, and politics. But above all, Aristotle gave him a love for Homer's epic tales, the adventures of Achilles. Alexander dreamed not just of ruling, but of surpassing the heroes of old. Tragedy soon struck. In 336 BC, King Philip was assassinated. At just 20 years old, Alexander became king. Rivals expected him to fail. But he acted swiftly. He crushed rebellions, destroyed the city of Thebes as a warning, and secured his power. The boy king was now a formidable ruler.
With Greece under his command, Alexander turned to his father's dream, the conquest of Persia. In 334 BC, he led 40,000 men across the Hellespont, into Asia Minor. At the Battle of Granicus, Alexander's bold charge nearly cost him his life. But his courage inspired his men, and victory was his. A year later, he faced King Darius III of Persia at Issus. Outnumbered, Alexander's tactical genius brought him victory once more. Darius fled, leaving behind his family. The Persian king's weakness was now clear, the world had a new master rising. In 332 BC, Alexander faced his greatest challenge yet, the island city of Tyre. For 7 long months, his army built a massive causeway into the sea, under constant attack. When the walls finally fell, Tyre paid a terrible price. From Tyre, he marched south to Gaza, and then into Egypt. But unlike Persia, Egypt welcomed him as a liberator. At the temple of Siwa, he was declared the son of Zeus. And on the shores of the Nile, he founded a city that would outlive him, Alexandria. 331 BC brought the defining battle of Alexander's career, Gaugamela. Facing a Persian army many times his own, Alexander used brilliant tactics to outflank and overwhelm King Darius once more. The victory shattered the Persian Empire. Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, the jewel of Persia, fell into his hands. At Persepolis, Alexander set fire to the royal palace. Some say it was revenge for Persia's invasion of Greece. Others say it was a drunken mistake. But the flames marked the end of Persia's glory. Alexander was now the ruler of Asia, the king of kings. Alexander's ambition knew no limits. He pushed further east, into the harsh lands of Central Asia. Here he met fierce resistance. In Bactria, he married Roxana, a local princess, in an attempt to unite cultures. But Alexander's eyes were fixed on a greater prize, India. In 326 BC, he crossed the Hindu Kush and faced King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes River. Porus fought with elephants, monstrous beasts that terrified Alexander's men. Yet again, the Macedonian king triumphed. In admiration, he allowed Porus to rule as his ally. Alexander had reached the edge of the known world. His dream was endless conquest, but his men had reached their limit. Exhausted, they refused to march further. For the first time, Alexander turned back. The journey home was brutal. Crossing the Gedrosian desert, thousands perished from thirst and heat. Yet Alexander pressed on, driven by his dream of uniting his empire. In Babylon, he began planning new campaigns, perhaps against Arabia, perhaps even beyond. But fate had other plans. In 323 BC, at just 32 years of age, Alexander fell gravely ill. Within days, the conqueror of the world was gone. The cause remains a mystery: malaria, poison, or fever. His body was placed in a golden sarcophagus, but his empire, built on conquest, could not survive his death. His generals, the Diadochi, divided the empire, each carving out their own kingdoms. Yet Alexander's influence endured. His campaign spread Greek language, science, and culture across 3 continents, creating the Hellenistic world that shaped centuries of history. Though his empire crumbled, his legend did not. Alexander the Great remains a symbol of ambition, courage, and destiny. A man who lived only 32 years, yet achieved immortality. He was more than a king, more than a conqueror. He was Alexander, the Great. His name echoes through time, reminding us that even the briefest life can change the course of history forever.